Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Greedfall. I am still here in my home in Hikmet because I had to do some overdue inventory management because, as you may remember, I ended up being over-encumbered in the previous episode. So I sold a bunch of crap, and while I was at it, I also bought a new armor for Afra, because she was still wearing her starter armor, which was actually pretty good, but I thought it was time for a new one. So again, I bought the best Bridge Alliance armor that I could find, and the shop here in Hikmet has a few pretty good ones, and then I gave it some nice upgrades. So all of my companions should have a pretty good armor now. Sierra actually has a new armor as well. I didn't buy this one. It was in my chest. I think it's one of the gifts you get for improving your relationship with a faction, and this one was better than her previous outfit, but again, it's appropriate to her faction, and all of my companions have proper, appropriate faction specific armor now. And well, the heads, most of them are wearing these helmets because they have the best stats. But at least the torso armor is all appropriate to their specific faction. But yeah, we did kind of finish a quest last episode, but not quite, because there is a follow-up to it. There is going to be a trial, and I'm going to assume the trial is here in Hikmet, so I guess I will just continue with this one while we're here. Let's leave the house and let's see where exactly we have to go for this. Okay, it's over here. Prosecutor's office. Offer to help the attorney. Let's do that. I mean, it's nice that at least there is going to be a trial here. Didn't have a trial for the Teleme guys running their camp. Then again, I killed pretty much all of them, I suppose. There wasn't anyone left to put on trial. Also, while I do keep complaining about the Bridge Alliance and the Teleme and how they treat the natives, let's not forget that the merchant congregation doesn't have a clean sheet either, because there was that illegal mine we had to shut down, and they also kidnapped natives and worked them to death. So I guess everyone has some dirt on their hands when it comes to mistreating the natives. It's just that the Teleme do it in the name of religion, and the Bridge Alliance does it in the name of science, and the merchant congregation does it in the name of good old-fashioned profits, I suppose. And again, even in the case of the illegal mine, the authorities, in this case Lady de Morange, said that she didn't know anything about it, but the merchant who ran the camp, he seemed curiously sure that bribery was going to get him out of his troubles. So I have the suspicion that he has been doing that before, and he may have been bribing, maybe not Lady de Morange, but her predecessor or whatever. So somehow he was able to get away with that for a long time. So in the end, I guess the merchant congregation is not really that much better than the others. Anyway, we are here at the prosecutor's office, so let's see what we can do. Are you the prosecutor? The attorney? Yes, you are.
Hello. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
De Sardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. Governor Burren told me to pay you a visit.
Oh. It is you who arrested Dr. Asili and must help me prepare the trial.
Exactly.
Excellent. We will have lots to do if we want the doctor to pay for his crimes. The accused has a lot of support. Any evidence and testimonies you can gather will be useful.
We'll have no problem gathering witnesses. His laboratory cells were full of them.
We will call them to the witness box, of course. But be aware that if the victims are natives, their words will unfortunately not carry much weight here.
There were also some Nauts. Perhaps I can also convince some of the doctor's colleagues to talk.
Their testimony will be crucial. The word of other scholars is likely to be the only thing that condemns him. That plus any material evidence you can gather.
I picked up a strange powder in the laboratory. A substance that I've not been able to identify.
You should show it to an alchemist. We need to know what it is to be able to use it.
These documents describe Dr. Asili's work. as well as the horrible experiments he was performing.
Perfect. I will read them in detail. We will no doubt find something to support my prosecution.
I have found a letter proving that Dr. Asili voluntarily transmitted the Malachor to my cousin, Constantin d'Orsay. I would like to add that I too was a victim of this poisoning.
Did the accused try to take the life of the governor of New Serene? This is an extremely serious crime.
Indeed. He saw my cousin and me as the ideal control group to prove his theories. And no humanitarian or diplomatic consideration could put a stop to his ambition.
This letter alone is crucial proof. I will put it on our file.
Do we have any chance of winning?
Yes, I am rather confident. You have provided overwhelming evidence. But if we had witnesses, we would have an even bigger chance of winning.
I will return to you soon. The Nords should be at the port, and the islanders had to take refuge in Vigshardir. As for the scientists, they said they would go back to the governor's laboratory. I should give this powder to someone who can tell me what it is.
Okay. Well, apparently I have quite a few tasks now on my hands. Let's have a look at that. Have the dark powder analyzed. Talk with Afra about Asili. Convince a Nord to testify. Meet with the survivors in Vigshardir. Question the researchers at the Hikmet laboratory. So apparently they went back there. I mean, I did find one of the researchers and I talked to her, and I guess then I arrested her, but she returned. I'm not sure if I will be able to make her testify since I arrested her, so maybe letting her go would be better in that situation, because then she would testify out of gratitude. Or maybe arresting her is better because then we have her at hand if we want to make her testify. I don't know, but I mean, I have quite a few other options here to provide witnesses. So, I don't know, which would be the closest? I guess talking to Afra. And... I see. We have the dark powder to be analyzed in the official laboratory. So I guess I'm going to start with a task that I can do here in Hikmet. And I hope that in the end I will be able to find enough evidence to properly convict Dr. Asili. Is this the right way? Not quite. It's the next road. And yeah, I don't know why Afra is not in my party anymore anyway. Oh, I do know. I changed her for Gert because I needed Gert's crafting abilities. But I guess it would make sense if I actually take her back into my party for this. Oh, I do have her in my party. I'm so confused. But I guess Sierra can come back, since we have to question a few natives too. Okay, but let's talk to Afra first.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
Yeah, let's talk about your former master.
I would like you to tell me about Asili.
I was expecting you to come and see me about this. What would you like to know?
Ask her what she knew about the experiments. Yes, that's what I would like to know.
Were you aware of Dr. Asili's experiments?
In part, yes. That's why I chose not to be his student any longer.
Why not say anything?
Because I never thought he would go so far. Over time, he became more and more cruel. I found his approach brutal. As if by meeting the natives it deprived him of all humanity. He spoke of them as test subjects, never as people. But there was a time when he was the greatest doctor and scientist in the Alliance. And I clung on to that memory.
You do know that you were captured thanks to him.
Yes, but I thought the natives wanted to trade us merely as prisoners of war. I was blind. And stupid. I regret it terribly.
So, would you be willing to testify at the trial? That's what I'm wondering.
Do you think, as your master does, that science justifies all sacrifices?
No. I may have believed that at one time, without of course ever imagining that we'd resort to such cruel treatment. But Dunkus, you and Siora have opened my eyes to the limits of science. To worship it as we do in the Alliance does not make us better than Teleme.
Okay, I have another question for you. Ask about the need for such a method, okay?
In your opinion, were the horrors practiced in this laboratory necessary for his research?
No, even if he was convinced of it. General interest outweighs the suffering of a few individuals. He wanted results quickly, to the point of neglecting slower, more humane methods. I hope we'll succeed in ensuring these experiments never happen again.
Yeah, I also had the impression that the stuff done at that lab was not really necessary or helpful in finding a cure for the Malachor. So, would you participate in the trial? Yes, that's the real question here.
Would you be willing to testify against Dr. Asili during his trial?
Of course. I was going to talk to you about that. I want to convince my colleagues that we must give up these kind of methods. And even if it costs me dearly, I want my master to pay for what he did. Anything else?
Okay, there we go. We already have one witness and one from the butcher line, so that's going to be useful.
I must leave you.
Now, let's head back to the lab. Not the secret one, the official one. Because I can do some stuff in here. Now, let's see. How is the best way to get inside here? I think I missed the door. But I can use this one? No, this is not the door to the laboratory. Ah. I am confused. Must be somewhere on this side. Okay, here we go. That is a proper entrance. Okay, so who can help me with my trial here? Huh. Is that the woman we arrested? She does kind of look like her.
I never thought I'd see you here again. Why are you still free?
Dr. Honor made sure that I was set free. He needed my help. What do you want?
Well, I'm not sure if I can convince her to testify, since I tried to arrest her last time, which apparently didn't really do anything. But okay, let's ask a few questions.
What is your purpose here?
I helped Dr. Honor to understand the research of my former master. He's the one who became his successor.
I do hope that he doesn't use the same methods.
Of course not.
What about your other colleagues? What's become of them?
They felt guilty. They stopped their experiments and returned to Al-Sad.
Okay, well, at least some of them felt guilty. Okay, what about Dr. Asili's current reputation?
What do the other scholars think of Dr. Asili, now that his actions have been revealed for all to see?
Most still admire him greatly. He was the greatest amongst us, you know. They didn't witness what was happening in the lab, and they have little interest in the natives. For them, the main problem is political, given that the war against the rebels cost us dearly. Until they understand the horrors that happened there, they will not have any moral issues.
So, will you help them understand the problems here? Ask her to testify, show her the powder found in the laboratory. Yeah, let's ask her to testify first. I have the feeling that she's going to say no, but let's try it anyway.
Are you prepared to testify against Dr. Asili?
I would like to say no. You had me thrown in prison, and without Dr. Honor's intervention, I would still be there. But I can't stop thinking about what we did in that laboratory. I think only by testifying will I ease my conscience.
Thank you. Your story could change the outcome of this trial.
Okay, so she actually is going to testify, even though I had her arrested, so I'm not sure if letting her go would have been a problem in that situation, or if it would have made the same outcome. But anyway, we still have the powder that I would like to analyze.
I discovered this strange powder in one of the laboratory's chests. Do you know what it is?
I did see the doctor using it once or twice, but I don't know what it is. But I can study it for you if you want. I have the tools that will allow me to do so here.
So, what is it?
It is a quintessence of black blood. Probably created using the blood of numerous patients. The doctor managed to harness the very concept of the Malachor in this powder. A single pinch ingested by someone would be enough for them to be afflicted by the disease. With the quantities that you brought me, hundreds of people could be contaminated. It's terrifying. I cannot believe Asili would do such a thing. Here, these are my notes. I wrote down all the details of my experiments, as well as my conclusions.
Thank you. I will relay them to the prosecutor.
Okay, well, I feel that this is pretty powerful evidence as well, and it's most likely what he used to poison Constantine.
I must leave you. What she saw working alongside Asili obviously upset her. She will make an excellent witness.
Okay, so we got another witness from the Bridge Alliance, another scientist willing to testify. So it's looking good, it's looking pretty good. And apparently we have another researcher that we can question, and that person is upstairs. So, who here is willing to testify against Dr. Asili? Ooh, what is this? Old research documents of Dr. Onur. This file contains the notes of Dr. Onur. From what you understand of his sketches and notes, he thought to discover how patients were contaminated and focused on the water the patients might have ingested. On the file you can see words which were obviously written by Dr. Asili saying, "Completely useless research, give up, Onur. We have much better things to do." So apparently there was a bit of a conflict between Asili and Onur. Okay. Well, can I talk to this Onur guy, maybe? Is it you, maybe? Yes, it is. Dr. Onur. Let's talk.
Doctor
Onur, what do you want?
Well, tell me about your work.
what is your role and what is your research topic?
I'm in charge of the governor's laboratories. My main research concerns the Malachor, of course.
Of course.
Above all, we searched for a way to reduce the suffering of the sick.
What were you looking for?
Now that we have access to my colleague Asili's work, it gives us hope of finding a cure.
So the crimes he committed while conducting his work do not concern you?
He will be judged for that. But it would be a shame for him to have done all this for nothing.
I actually kind of tend to agree. I mean, all the natives are already dead. And if anything useful can come out of this, then maybe it can actually be used to cure the Malachor. But then again, I'm not holding my breath that it actually will be able to cure the Malachor. And I understand the moral problems of using that research that killed so many people. But okay, what is your position on Dr. Asili anyway?
What do you think of Dr. Asili now that you've learned how he conducted his research?
Well, obviously the few excesses he has conceded himself are unfortunate, but he remains the greatest scientist that the Alliance has ever known. His work has had a profound effect on science. It seems quite unfair to me to reduce his life's work just to what he has done lately.
If I understand correctly, you will be one of his defenders.
Naturally. I don't deny that he made a terrible mistake, but he meant well. And he was probably acting on behalf of our helplessness to combat the Malachor.
So I'm going to assume you are not going to testify against him if you are going to be one of his defenders.
Would you agree to speak at the trial? Your influence could be crucial.
Oh, but I already intended to give a statement. His lawyer came to find me.
So you were ready to defend a man who used torture and murder to advance his research?
Indeed, because I think the entire work of a scientist should not be judged on a single mistake. It is obvious that he should not have used such methods, but Asili has never been very political. I doubt he understood the implications of his actions.
So you're saying the only problem in this case is political?
Essentially, yes. The war he nearly caused could have been expensive for our governor and the city, but let's not fool ourselves. No tears will be shed over the fate of a few of those bloodthirsty savages.
Yeah, I do get that impression. And I wouldn't call that laboratory with, I don't know, dozens or maybe hundreds of dead people a single mistake. Convince him to testify for the prosecution. Okay, I have some options here. I cannot flatter his pride because I do not have enough intuition for this. Talk about his abandoned research. Ask Afra for help. Yeah, I mean, this is the note that I just found. I guess I could convince him by using that and tell him, you know, you have other ideas than him anyway, so why are you defending him, right? But as usual, if I can ask my companions for help, I try to do that, and usually it works out pretty well, so let's do it.
Afra, did you have something to say to Dr. Honor?
Thank you, de Sardet. I feel it is my duty to warn him. You probably know that I was one of Dr. Asili's students.
Naturally. It is undoubtedly under his influence that you have developed this remarkable analytical spirit.
Perhaps. But my analytical mind also pushed me to refuse to continue working with him. I saw his madness and cruelty grow deeper, and what we discovered in this laboratory was abominable. We must condemn him, not only so he can pay for this crime, but to free science from these kinds of abject methods.
Very well. You've convinced me. I will now testify for the prosecution. It is true that it's time to turn the page and leave his cruel methods behind.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Honor is an influential scholar. His testimony would convince the judges.
Well, he's a bit of a pushover. Not that I'm complaining, because I got a very good witness here, so I am quite happy about that. And I think I still can try to convince the Nords to help me and the natives. So I feel I'm building a pretty strong case here. I'm very confident about my abilities to actually prosecute him properly. So, apparently the Nords are somewhere over here. That's a place that I haven't been to so far. Let's see. Where is the door that I need to use? Captain Lisandro. Huh, interesting. This character has a name. I don't remember ever talking to him before.
Hello there. My name is de Sardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
I am Captain Lisandro. Pleased to meet you. I don't believe I've had the pleasure before. Yet your face seems familiar. How odd.
How odd.
Well, what can I do for you?
I don't know. Let's see. The port, the islands before the colonists arrived, Hikmet. Okay, these are just some general questions, but since I haven't talked to him before, I guess I will do that. Also, I hear, like, battle music, so is there a fight going on somewhere?
Do you know this port well?
Oh, I know it all right. I've been mooring my ship here for over 15 years. It's a safe harbour, well protected from the winds and away from the reefs.
And before that?
Before? I don't really know what you mean. Before, there was nothing but the coast itself, I imagine.
Okay, well, fair enough. Tell me more about the island.
Did you know the island before all the colonists arrived?
Yes. Now that's going back a bit. And it isn't a topic for somebody who isn't one of our own.
So tell me what it was like when the Alliance first began to settle here.
It was still wild, dangerous, and very beautiful. And all that has changed now.
Okay, so it's not wild, not dangerous anymore, and not beautiful anymore. I don't know, I tend to disagree. And tell me about Hikmet.
Did you see the city being built?
Almost before my very eyes. I saw it grow as fast as you're breathing right now. But it was barely more than a port and a couple of huts surrounded by forest in the beginning. And then the trees began to come down, and the houses began to sprout up. It happened at a crazy pace, but I'm not sure that many good things came of all that change.
Well, the pace would explain the lack of city planning in this place.
I have to go.
As you wish.
Anyway, I think that's all I can ask here, and I mean, there must be a battle going on somewhere. Oh, here we go. Why are you attacking these people over here? I mean, apparently they are attacking the survivors of the laboratory.
Is everything all right?
Once again, thanks to you. These people wanted to kill me.
They certainly wanted to prevent you from testifying at the doctor's trial.
The doctor will be judged. I suppose you'd like me to testify about how we suffered.
Indeed. If you do not fear another attempt on your life by these men.
Don't worry. I won't put up with intimidation. From now on, my people will watch over me until I can testify. And I intend to witness the execution of our torturer. You can count on me.
Thank you. Your word will be crucial during the trial.
Okay, well, there we go. We convinced the Nord prisoner to testify. And yeah, apparently someone really is using some extreme methods here to protect the doctor. Yeah, I think the only thing left to do now is to meet the survivors in Vik Shadir. So I will head back to a travel spot, and I hope I can convince some of the natives to testify as well. Alright, I have arrived in the village of Vik Shadir, and apparently the people that I need to talk to are in this very building.
Hey! You are the Onol Menawi who freed us. We managed to reach Vik Shadir.
They told me what you did for them, Renaikse. Well done. I was able to give them the care they needed. Some wounds will take time to heal, but they are safe thanks to you.
I'm happy to see that they're better.
But you didn't come here for that, did you?
No, I came to ask for your help. The doctor who captured and tortured you is about to be tried for his crimes. He has a lot of support among his people. He is a respected man despite what he did. If we don't have testimony from some of his victims, he will surely be released.
You'll have our words. We'll go to the Grand City and tell our story.
And the mad lion will die for causing so much harm to our people.
May the earth engulf him. You can return to Hikmet. I'll make sure they get there in good health.
Thank you, Tienahak, and thank you all. I blame myself for forcing these poor people back to the city where they've suffered so much.
My people are strong and proud. They will not be afraid to speak in front of your judges for justice.
Alright, let's hope it's actually going to work. But, I mean, I have so much evidence, so many witnesses. If this doesn't work now, then the whole trial is just a scam. Inform the attorney that you have gathered enough evidence. Right. I basically managed to get all of the necessary evidence and witnesses. So, where is that travel spot? Okay, it's over here. Let's go back to Hikmet. And let's start the trial, I suppose. Alright, I am back at the prosecutor's office, so let's talk to the attorney.
You have returned, Your Excellency. Do you have any news on our matter?
Quite a bit. Talking about the diseased blood concentrate, start the trial, talk about the testimonies. I don't know, let's start with the testimonies, maybe.
A Nort victim of Dr. Asili agreed to testify at the trial.
Excellent. This kind of testimony will certainly rattle his defense.
Oh, and that's just the beginning. I have much more. I have a few islanders, and even though their testimony may not count as much, I think it's still important.
The islanders will testify at the trial. Their injuries will surely convince the judges.
Indeed. But do bear in mind that the islanders are not highly regarded in Hikmet.
That's okay, I have a few scholars as well.
I managed to convince the scientists in the governor's laboratory to speak in our favor.
Excellent. These are not direct witnesses, but if they denounce the doctor, we are sure to be heard.
I even got a testimony from one of Dr. Asili's colleagues.
Perfect. That will convince our scientists, and you know how important they are in Hikmet.
And I have another witness, sort of anyway, Afra.
Afra, one of Dr. Asili's former students, has agreed to testify.
Excellent. This woman is very respected by the governor. Her statement will carry a lot of weight.
And in addition to that, I also have some physical evidence.
An alchemist studied the powder that we found in the laboratory. Apparently it's some kind of concentrate made from the blood of several patients with the Malachor. It seems that less than a pinch of this powder is enough to contaminate whoever consumes it. There's enough here to make a small town sick.
A terrifying thought. I will add the analysis and this powder to the evidence on record. You have gathered overwhelming evidence. The defense will have a hard time saving the accused. I think we can go to trial with confidence now.
Okay, let's do it. Let's start the trial.
Will the trial begin soon?
It seems to be the right time. Excellent investigation work. I think we have every chance of winning.
Where will the trial be held?
At the palace. I regret to inform you that you will not be able to attend. However, I'm sure the governor will keep you informed of the outcome of the proceedings.
Okay.
Madame, congratulations. The trial was exemplary. Asili's madness was exposed to the entire world. And you have demonstrated the horror of his methods.
Thank you, Excellency. But all praise should be showered upon Lady de Sade. The evidence she supplied was irrefutable.
It was necessary that you hear the victims, in order to understand the extremities to which your science has taken you.
Come now. One cannot conclude that science was guilty here.
Not science, but the savants were. It is never right to set aside humanity in the name of the common good. No knowledge justifies killing or torture.
Your words are wise, and I promise to remember them.
You have not always shown yourself a man of impeccable judgment, Excellency.
We are all, from time to time, victim of our own blind enthusiasm, that is true. But this trial has shaken my usual resolve. It may very well change the course of history.
Okay, well, let's hope so. I did get a whole lot of reputation for this. I mean, look at that. I'm actually friendly with the Bridge Alliance now. Who would have thunk that? That happened a lot faster than I expected. But yeah, interesting. I'm a little bit sad that we didn't get to see the actual trial. I guess maybe animating it would have been too difficult or too much work. And I suppose they would have just repeated all the evidence that we had gathered before, and then Asili would have made his usual "the ends justify the means" speech, and then he would have been convicted. But still, I think it would have been nice to be able to actually see that trial. Anyway, I think I am done here for now, and it's a little bit late to start another quest. I gotta say though, this was again a pretty good quest. I did enjoy this one, especially, you know, the collecting of all the evidence. And I wonder if the trial fails, if you fail to get just one piece of evidence, or if there's a certain amount of evidence that you need and then the trial will be a success. Because I guess if you don't free all the prisoners, they are not going to testify, or you can miss some of the evidence in the lab and that will be missing from the trial. So there seem to be lots of variables here that can determine the success of the quest in the end. But yeah, since it's a bit late to start another quest, how about we do some codex reading? I haven't done any in a while. And I do have at least a few new entries here. So let's have a look at that. Bishop Domitius. Right, he's the Order Luminis guy. Bishop Domitius is the leader of the Order Luminis, the Inquisition of Thélème on Tier 3D. More political than his subordinates, he serves as counselor to the Cardinal Mother Cornelia, but his apparently neutral role should not overshadow who he is above all. An inquisitor who will stop at nothing to purify Tier 3D of any form of heresy. I honestly forgot what happened to him. I mean, he was not in the camp itself, so we didn't kill him. So I think he should be put on trial as well. Right? But I think that's not going to happen. Laboratory manager. In spite of her efforts, this scientist found herself involved in the atrocious experiences of her mentor. Experiences? Is this supposed to be experiments, maybe? Dr. Asili. She witnessed the torture suffered by the poor natives and captured Nords, and although these methods have obviously disgusted her, she never had the courage to jeopardize her reputation and her career to oppose him. Okay, but I mean, in the end, she did testify, so I guess you gotta say at least that about her. Dr. Asili. Dr. Asili is considered one of the greatest scholars of the Bridge Alliance, as comfortable with the mathematics as with botany or medicine. He is best known for being the inventor of inoculation, a treatment allowing people not to catch certain diseases. He was Afra's mentor for several years before she left the circle of his students. But his obsession with the discovery of a cure for the Malachor has pushed him to extremes that even his peers would condemn, torturing natives and Nords without remorse in his secret laboratory hidden under the city of Hikmet. And now he got convicted for that, so at least that's something. Commander Thorsten. Commander Thorsten has been leading the Coin Guard for many years. He is an intelligent man despite his brutality and roughness, and is said to be a skilled strategist. His soldiers respect him even if some blame him for being involved in unglamorous business and for moving away from the ideals of honor originally held by the Guard. Okay. The commander turned out to be even more twisted than you suspected, organizing a great coup d'etat on the island. His plans would have almost certainly been successful without the warning from your friend Kurt. You have no choice but to do everything to prevent him from completing his task. Thorsten is dead. You made him pay for his treachery with his life. Right, I do remember that. And he went down pretty quickly, as a matter of fact. And yeah, that's all the new codex entries that I have. So, let's see. Right, I still need a bit more reputation with the Coin Guard, but I do have another quest for them, so I'm pretty sure if I finish that one, I should be able to get to friendly. And I do have a quest for Petrus too, not one for Ciora yet though, so I hope that she will have some new tasks for me at some point as well. Also, I think there's one last thing I would like to do today. I wonder if I can talk to Constantine again. I mean, I made some pretty interesting discoveries here, and I feel it would be nice if I could tell Constantine about it. I'm not sure if I can. The game doesn't have that much, new dialogue with people, even if certain stuff happens. Oh! He's actually going to get executed. I didn't realize that. Well, guess we're going to attend the execution.
Afra, are you certain that you want to attend this?
I do not want to attend. I must.
Dr. Asili, you have been found guilty of all accusations brought against you. In consequence, the Bridge Alliance Tribunal condemns you to death. Do you have any final words?
You treat me like a monster. But how many times have you stayed your own hands? So close to the goal to finally find a remedy, you would have done as I. What do a few lives mean when the future of all humanity hangs in the balance? You are nothing more than idiots, incompetents, and you, Baron, are the greatest hypocrite of all. You know that I am right.
Executioner, earn your pay.
You know that I am right.
Well, he is pretty convinced. I'll give him that. I just got gold for attending the execution. That's something new. But okay, well, I didn't know that there still was another task left in this quest. So, that was interesting. And, well, I hope Afra isn't too upset by what just happened. But yeah, let me go back to New Serene, and I will just test to see if I can talk to Constantine about what I found out here. Alright, dear cousin, how are you doing?
My fair cousin!
Oh,
come closer and tell me what brings you...
It's not looking good. The Malaka is proceeding. Ask him if the healers have arrived. Right, I have managed to convince some of the healers in Tileme and Hikmet to take a look at him.
Did you meet the healers that I sent to you?
Alas, yes. Without me feeling anything other than boredom. No, do not misunderstand me. I am very grateful for everything you do for me, but I'm losing my mind. And the old nations could not do anything for me.
I'll find a solution, I promise you. Stay strong.
Anything else?
Well, I would like to talk to you about what I found out in Asili's lab, but apparently that's not possible. Well, that's a pity. But I did have some new dialogue anyway.
I'm going to leave now. Goodbye, Constantine.
Look out for yourself.
And, I mean, I still have the native healers that I can talk to, and I think they are going to be my best bet in the situation, because Tileme and Bridge Alliance have been looking for a cure for so long, and they haven't found one. So I think the natives are my best chance here. But yeah, I think now it's finally time to end the episode. I think in the next episode I will continue with some of the companion quests. I have one for Kurt, one for Petrus, and then maybe we'll finally go back to one of our main missions again. So yeah, as usual, thank you for watching, and see you again next time.